dust holes everywhere. When it rains hard, and it does flood pretty quick. And the road changes every day. I love it.
In Australia's tropics, dirt roads can be dusty one day and a muddy bog the next. For most truckers, this punishing wilderness is your worst enemy.
It's sort of like the last frontier.
But for 67-year-old Dennis Dent, it's an old friend.
It's just like driving a motor car, really.
As the going gets tough, most truckers are getting out, while just one man and his rig are driving in.
It's always the same. It's always the last letter you own.
After years of deliveries, clients have become close mates.
It's like a big family in the Cape to me. I love the people up there and I enjoy what I'm doing. I've been on up for nearly 42 years now. I guess I'm an old fella, so that's what they call me.
Experience earned Dennis his nickname and his reputation.
They say that if the old fella can't get through, just wasting your time having a go.
But you can't fight nature. The Cape has a 5-month tropical wet season.
Once that comes in, mate, you just get downpours for days. It just rains and rains and rains.
Each year, flash flooding closes the only road in and out of the area.
Another road, but it changes all the time. It changes every week.
Once the road floods, remote communities can be cut off for up to 5 months.
If it was a dry season, we don't have to worry too much. But it's not, it's a wet season, so it's like playing Russian roulette.
With rain due, the road could close any day now.
It's getting very close. So our customers wait until it starts raining and we panic and want to order stuff to get it in there. But we get that every year, so we're used to it.
To deliver his load, Dennis is putting his faithful Mercedes truck on the line.
You might have to leave your truck in there over the wet if you bog it that bad. It's got to stay there until after the wet season.
Together, they've been taking on extreme conditions for over 15 years.
We've got a really strong motor and they'll go places where other trucks won't go.
But if the weather changes, it could be stranded in the Cape.
Nobody likes to be leaving vehicles up in the middle of nowhere for months and months and months. There's not much left by the time we go back.
Left to the elements, it could mean the end of his truck altogether. It's 3:40 a.m. in Queensland.
Be careful.
Oh,
Dennis Dent is leaving early to try and stay ahead of the weather. But just a few hours into the journey, his truck alerts him to a battery problem.
the lights start flickering, that means it's not charging, you know?
It's a bad start to a long trip. The alternator is a crucial part of the truck's electrical system.
Supplies the power for the lights and the battery.
If Dennis can't fix it, it could end his trip.
Bloody batteries are dead flat, you won't be able to start.
He's hoping the fault is just mud on his alternator brushes, which help charge the truck's battery. He needs to quickly find a replacement. It's early days, but already the whole trip hangs on one tiny spare part.
I got to fix the problem.
With the truck back to full health, Dennis can push on. Soon, the road to Cape York is ahead. With the wet season due, it's one-way traffic, apart from Dennis.
Blowing them up, mate. It's always the same, always the luck. There you go.
If the rains arrive, Dennis risks getting stranded.
When the wet comes on these roads, it just deteriorates so quickly.
Information about what's ahead is priceless. Out of phone range, Dennis is relying on his fellow truckers.
Other truck drivers coming down tell you about the bad spots or what's happening.
And the news isn't good.
There's rain there yesterday, storm and a weeper there yesterday, but all right.
Getting a bit of rain up there, eh? What about down the track?
Halfway through a vital report, the radio's out of range. Dennis is heading into the unknown.
Did it keep it away from the rocks so the rocks don't slice the tyres? You've got to get the revs right, the gear right, you've got to time it to perfection.
Hit the steep drops too slowly and he'll get bogged going up the other side. Too fast and he risks serious damage to his truck.
You don't want to slam him down in the creek.
The final river crossing is the steepest.
Always worry about this crossing.
Dennis has been bogged here before.
I've been stuck on it for a long time. But, you know, many trips as you do in here, you always worry about it. Make your heart pump.
Finally through the worst, Dennis's first delivery is just ahead in Lockhart River. Thanks to him, contractor Steve Spencer can continue building work all year round.
Well, come the wet season, the roads are closed. We rely on them. It's what we need to get gear up here. We're batching concrete flat out, so without the powder, there's no building going on throughout the wet. We'll probably get an arvo storm and hopefully it doesn't mess the road up too much.
With a storm forecast for later, Dennis's work is far from over. For the return journey, he's picking up two 20-ton steamrollers. It's a simple job, or at least it should be.
It's dead.
He's out of phone range and running out of patience.
This happens all the time in the bush. They don't give a you know, they don't come out to help you load the
Things are going from bad to worse. He's been given the wrong key. With an afternoon storm on the way, Dennis needs to get moving. Time to go back to basics.
instruction manual.
Hopefully, a little mechanical nous will sort it.
All right. Now we got action.
Fully loaded, Dennis is hauling nearly 60 tonnes. When the rain comes, these roads can turn into muddy bogs. But the dry, dusty soil can be just as slippery. Hauling a heavy load up a series of steep hills is a recipe for getting dry bog.
Lose traction, wheel starts spinning, and that's the end of it.
but it's Dennis's only way out. Ahead is the steepest of the bunch. He's been stuck here before. To get up it, Dennis must get the power down. And fight the road for every metre. Hauling 60 tonnes of dead weight. It's a battle even Dennis can't win.
I didn't think I'd get over here, eh?
He needs to get out fast
What a day.
before any rain can turn dust to mud. He's in luck. 2 empty mining trucks have arrived. If they can get ahead of Dennis, they should be able to tow him out.
This steep little hill is past.
The hills claimed another victim. And now, the road's completely blocked.
And this is steep here and it's loose.
Daylight's fading fast and rain's due. The stranded trucks must get out before dark. A passing 4-wheel drive volunteers to help. It's up to a 2.5-tonne car to haul a 30-tonne road train free. It's a long shot,
Righto, go. Go.
but their only chance.
No. No, mate. Go up and take the slack up on the train.
The empty mine truck has made it. But with 60 tonnes on board, pulling Dennis out will be a heavyweight battle. 2 mine trucks are now lined up in front of him. It's down to them to pull Dennis out. All hope rests on a single chain.
Just don't stand too close because if this chain snaps, it'll cut your head off.
The high-tension line has to pull 60 tonnes.
Steady. A little bit more trouble.
But it's just too much.
I broke the chain, mate.
It's a disaster. The rain is imminent. Dennis needs to give the chain one more try, or risk his truck getting stranded here for months.
Here you go.
Together, the 3 truckers have made it. Finally, Dennis is heading home.
Enjoy your trip back, mate.
It'll be better when we get the out here.
He's risked the weather, battled the mud and the dust, in some of the toughest wilderness in Australia. But out here is where Outback legends are made.
Central Australia. A road building crew are putting the finishing touches to a stretch of Outback track.
We set up camp in September last year, so yeah, 6 months it's been here now, just doing 10 k's of road construction.
The Black Cat contractors have finished the job and are moving on.
It's 85 kilometres to the next job site, which is a little community of Arayonga. There we're extending an airstrip for the Royal Flying Doctor Service.
Building roads, or in this case, airstrips, is a massive undertaking, requiring a mountain of gear. And when you're in the middle of nowhere, the only way to do it is bring everything with you.
It is a portable town, yeah, it's virtually got everything ready to go. 30 people can stay here for as long as they like.
Which makes the task of moving it all almost as big as the task itself.
When the job's finished, we just pick the whole camp up, put it on the back of the trucks and send it down the road.
8 accommodation units, a toilet block, a camp kitchen and mess, generators and machinery. It's up to remote trucking specialist Brad Duckworth to shift it all.
Big house move, yeah. Fortunately, we don't have to pack all the furniture into the boxes, it's already done.
Making the job tougher, Brad's route is in bad shape. And with every pass of his road train, it'll deteriorate more.
Fall into the trap of just cruising along thinking, nah, we're right, and then all of a sudden it's all wrong.
Brad's got 6 days to pack up the camp, drive the 900 kilometres total distance and unload it all. There's no time to waste.
Doesn't fit.
The forks on the loader are too big. Brad's got 10 buildings he needs to move. And now, no way of picking them up.
If we jam it in there, we won't be able to get it back off, so we'll just have to work on another plan. I'll have to drop the forks off and hook some chains on and try and lift it up with one end of the forks and back underneath it.
He's going to drag, then lift the building using chains. First up, lose the forks.
Just trying to find out which switch unhooks the forks.
Easier said than done.
Quick coupler is that one. We got him.
Next, a 7-ton rated chain tied from the loader to the building. It's an ingenious but time-consuming solution.
Yeah, I was hoping that it would go a little bit smoother than this. It's going to make a fairly big week out of it. Righto, steady as she goes.
While the first building's on, Brad gets some bad news.
So we just received word that we haven't received the permits yet. So every piece of equipment we have to move out there, we need a permit for to put it on the Aboriginal land.
No permits means no go. Thankfully, the one permit he does have is for the building he's just loaded.
Yeah, that's it for now. We'll just sort of have to wait and see, and wait for the permits to come through.
And the complications don't end there. The trailer for the loader doesn't have the right coupling to be towed behind Brad's other trailers. Before he can unload, he'll have to come back and collect his loader separately.
We have to ferry it backwards and forwards in between each run. Righto, let's go check out what this road's like. think we've got about 85 k's. I think there's 30 k's of bitumen, and then the road will get pretty rough from there.
28 years of hard trucking have taught Brad to respect what lies ahead.
You can sort of drive for 300 or 400 kilometres and hardly see a person or another car or even a house for that matter. There's not too many people that can just slip out and give us a hand if we do get stuck anywhere.
And now, his first test.
Oh, it looks like we're coming to the end of the bitumen seal here, so we'll be starting into the roadworks on the dirt. It looks pretty sandy too, so we'll have to watch our traction. They drop us down off the side of the new road, so nobody does any underlying damage before they get the seal down on it. It's fairly soft going here. See how we go around through here.
His revs are dropping. His truck's losing speed.
Losing traction. Yeah, I just put the diff locks in to give us a bit more traction. Yep, just dragging through here.
Clear of the soft sand, but not clear of trouble.
Yeah, we just come out of the roadworks. It's now the corrugation will kick off here and start to get worse as we go.
To move an entire workers' camp, Brad needs to tackle this stretch 10 times, damaging the road more with each pass.
Yeah, it's starting to chop up a bit through here.
After 90 kilometres, Brad has finally made it to the airstrip at Arayonga, the site for the new camp.
I'll just unhook the trailers and drop them here. It'll be the best spot to leave them for tonight till I get back in the morning with this loader.
Before he can unload the building, Brad needs his loader. That means a return trip across the bumps. Again. Next morning, Brad's collected his loader and is heading back to the airstrip. As predicted, the road has deteriorated.
Starting to get a bit torn out on the edges of the road here with all the traffic running off the sides here.
With a lighter load, Brad powers through the rough sections. But as he closes in on the new campsite, an old worry is weighing on his mind.
Hopefully the land council permits and all come through shortly so we can get a bit of a crack on with it.
Without the permits, Brad can't move any more gear. And now, more dramas.
Run a bit tight to that other trailer there. I'll just have to get out and check it. Hit I bent it all. The whole thing. Scratched me trailer. Oh, just taking all the paint off the side of the trailer. I've never put a scratch on this truck in 2.5 years.
A moment's inattention.
It's not good at all. The bosses won't be happy.
And Brad has collided with the parked trailer.
Yeah, it was pretty tight coming round there, yeah. I just took my eyes off for a second watching the other side, and here's what it is now. I'll have to unravel it all and get back around out of the road.
The worst of the damage is this bent mudguard, pressing into the tyre.
Pull that back away from that wheel so at least we've got a bit of clearance here. I don't know if it'll straighten right up. Eyes off the ball for 1 minute and look what happens.
One problem fixed.
Yeah, it's better, eh?
Now Brad needs to check he has clearance to move the rest of the camp.
Yeah, well, what's the go? These, any sign of these permits come through yet, or? No, still nothing, eh?
It's the killer blow to a jinxed job.
There's no point me loading anything else up at this point then. We'll just have to lay idle and see how we go.
Without the permits, the community of Arayonga will have to keep waiting for their new airstrip. For Brad, it's just part of being an Outback trucker. He's been moved onto another job, 900 kilometres away.
I feel like I'm moving out.
With his current run of luck, he's not taking any chances.
Better take most of his stuff though. Something happens or a breakdown out there.
"44 metres long, weighing 50 tonnes empty, and 125 fully loaded. There's no prize for guessing why this 70-wheel road train has earned the nickname the Dusty Inn.
Dust is just everywhere.
It's a dust-choked home away from home for Outback trucker Ross Carrigy.
This is where it becomes absolute shit flying through here.
Ross is returning from the remote North Queensland community of Kawanyama, where he's dropped off 70 tonnes of road base.
The road base we take up there is to form up roads, because the roads up there are all clay, and when it rains there's no grip on it and the cars spin off and smack into trees and stuff. The wet season's upon us and the roads are getting really bad.
Soon, the rains will flood the road up to Kawanyama, and not even 1,000 horsepower road train will be able to force its way through.
We've only got probably a week or two left to deliver 12,000 tonne of road base. Going through the gears, getting thrown around a bit.
But Ross has only been driving road trains in the Australian Outback for 2 years.
I thought I knew a lot about trucks until I started coming up here, and I knew absolutely nothing about trucks at all. Now I'm like an apprentice truck driver. This is the sort of shit we deal with every day.
He's a student in the Outback Truckers School of Hard Knocks.
I've never seen so many blown tyres in one road. Dust holes everywhere. When it rains hard, and it does flood pretty quick. And the road changes every day. I love it.
Ross makes it safely back to Nolan's Creek Quarry. He doesn't have long to wait before his next Outback adventure. At daybreak, he's up and ready to go.
Oh, flies. About 5:30, just going to fill up the water tanks, get loaded, change a couple of tyres, then head off to the great adventure of the Kawanyama Road.
With the 3 trailers fully loaded,
Here we go.
Ross gets back on the road.
We're going about 370 kilometres. It should take 9 hours one way, and we should be back by tomorrow afternoon, hopefully, if everything goes well. If we get stuck, we could be there for 2 weeks. I love the adventure of it. Hey, road train leaving Nolan's heading west.
Ross doesn't travel far before facing Kawanyama Road's first test of nerve.
We've got a river crossing called Trembler's Crossing. We've got to be doing about 70, 80 kilometres an hour at the bottom of it, otherwise you won't make it up the top.
The causeway is extremely narrow. Rookie Ross must line up the speeding truck precisely.
So you've only got about that much by the side of your truck.
Get it wrong, and his rig will crash over the edge.
Things can turn to shit real quick if you're not watching what you're doing up here.
On the road to Kawanyama, this Outback Creek threatens a different kind of danger.
Tourists pull up in the middle of the river, take photos of the car, great spot, great shots, everything. But the problem is they're not listening to the UHF and they don't know we're coming. Blast the horn and hopefully they hear you coming. The chances of stopping this truck at speed's pretty minimal. You hit your brakes and hope for the best. And it can be fatal very quickly.
There's no tourists to worry about this time.
Shit.
But hitting the narrow causeway at speed
Gets the heart racing.
is a guaranteed white-knuckle ride.
The trick is not to look back, otherwise you get scared.
The heavily corrugated road pushes tyres to their limits.
A little bit of a good section here, and after that it just turns to crap. So we're just going to get out and have a look around and check the tyres and make sure we haven't got any flat ones. All good so far. She's flat. Great. Love it. Welcome to the Outback.
The temperature hits 40 degrees.
Beautiful. Absolutely sensational on here. I love this job. I really do.
Job done. But Ross spots another devastating problem.
Judging by that flat spot, I think she's pretty well ratchet. I didn't see that before.
2 other tyres are damaged. And one of his remaining 5 spares is flat and useless.
Blown one tyre already, and so got 2 about to let go, I think, which means after that, 2 more spares and that's it.
If Ross runs out of spares, he'll be stranded alone in the sun-scorched outback. And the risk of a blowout is about to spiral.
The road only gets worse from here on in. This is like World Champion Ski Slalom course in Road Train Edition of Australia. Very hard to try and manoeuvre through.
Navigating potholes up to 2 metres deep, filled with fine soil known as bulldust.
It's like someone's dug out a big section of road and thrown a heap of talcum powder in it and said, good luck, boys.
Driving on 2 damaged tyres and with only 4 spares remaining, Ross must negotiate the bulldust with extreme caution.
If you hit them too fast, you'll pop tyres, blow your suspension out, blow your steering out.
It's tough driving.
You don't realise you're on a hole until you're about to go through it.
In testing conditions.
We're getting thrown around a bit.
But Ross has it all worked out.
The trick to driving through this kind of road is shut one eye and put your hand over the other eye and just hope for the best.
Ross's driving tips may never make it into the road code. But they work for him today. After over 100 kilometres weaving through the bulldust, the road finally begins to improve. Ross's giant rig has survived one of the worst roads in Queensland.
This is a thriving metropolis of Kawanyama.
After 9 grueling hours on the road, he finally drops off his 75-tonne load.
Covered in dust, love it. We'll find somewhere on the side of the road just out of Kawanyama to camp. And then first thing in the morning, we'll head back to Nolan's. I like this part of the trucking life because you can just pull up wherever you want, cook wherever you want, sleep wherever you want. It is lonely at night, but I went for a walk before and saw 4 crocodiles in the little burrow pit. I've got some company tonight at least. There's no one coming, right, we're into it.
Unloaded, his rig is 75 tonnes lighter and can travel faster. But less weight on the tyres.
Coming up to another dust pit.
Means less traction.
except for going a little bit slow through here.
And increased danger of getting bogged in the dust.
Dust is horrendous. It's on the farm. Yeah, we got through that, no worries.
But today, there could be more than just dust to contend with.
Jesus, she's black out. Turn on the radio, the road up ahead's pretty wet. Take a lot of precautions.
Recent storms have submerged a creek crossing.
A lot of hot sand on this side. It's pretty slippery, so the train hasn't got enough traction.
A hidden bump. And suddenly Ross loses momentum. He just makes it through the creek, but the truck's in trouble.
And now we have an engine light on.
Unable to take any more abuse, the road train limps to a stop.
So, you fix one.
He suspects the radiator is dangerously low on water.
We hit a pretty big pump, so I don't know if it's run damage or not.
The moment of truth.
What's going on now?
Nolans need every truck on the road to meet their demanding delivery schedule. If Ross's rig is out of commission, it's not a good look for a rookie driver. But fortunately, his stubbies are.
You got to have short shorts when you're wearing Outback trucking just to fit in with the rest of them. The shorter the shorts, the more experience you got with Outback trucks. We'll start up and see what happens.
It's second time lucky for the rookie.
Good to go.
The student trucker has earned his stripes. Ross's rig once again rumbles south towards Nolan's quarry.
Back on the road again, we got the truck fixed. It's just a broken wire that sit on top of the engine.
Broken wires are a common problem on this road.
Dust is a big enemy. What happens is it gets in between all the hoses and electrical wires. It's like sandpaper. It just rubs everything apart, shorts everything out.
Lucky for Ross, the broken wire was easy to fix. But with 4 more punishing hours of driving ahead of him, he's taking no chances.
Yeah, we've got to nurse his truck back kind of thing, so I don't want any more wires breaking.
The epic Bulldust holes may be a truck killer, but Ross has grown fond of the Kawanyama Road.
Dusty old road.
And it's just as well. First thing tomorrow, he'll be doing battle with the infamous road all over again.
And that's life in the Outback, I suppose, eh? I love it.
In Adelaide, oversized specialist Mark Cromwell is under a shed load of pressure.
Yeah, lift up, Doug. I knew this was going to be a pain.
He needs to get this mammoth 50-ton electrical switch room loaded onto his trailer.
Are we nearly ready, Doug? You're nearly ready. I'm getting impatient, and I want this to happen.
But getting in the way.
The shit design.
Poorly designed bolt heads threatening to puncture this $1.5 million load.
They put big bolts hanging out the base frame, so we can't just dump it on the trailer. We can't afford anything to go wrong here today.
For Mark and his team, it's one more stress on an already demanding contract. Delivering this heavy, expensive and fragile switch room into the middle of nowhere.
logistically the most remote mine site in Australia. To get there is extremely difficult.
And Mark's deadline can't budge.
This client, more than anyone I've ever dealt with, are just push, 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 numbers, dates, hit targets.
The last leg of the journey takes Mark up the notoriously rough Tanami track, putting his body and truck under extreme strain.
Mechanical failure is the big thing here. The trailer's got to go over so many corrugations. If something breaks down, you're not going to get fixed up on the Tanami track in any great hurry. You're up.
Right now, Mark's most pressing concern is getting the switch room loaded in one piece and on time.
We have to leave. We're all permitted and we can only leave tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Miss his permit window and Mark could be delayed for days.
Nothing's ever easy. I've only ever put one hole through a floor before. That was another great design. Who's the jack operator? We want to go down. Just listen for cracks. You want to watch the backs? There we go. That's better. That should be right. It'll just touch the little bolt heads. That's all right.
With the load finally on, Mark's feeling positive.
Tomorrow, bring your good clothes because we're not getting dirty. Nothing goes wrong. You right, Matt? We just don't want any mistakes today. We just want it to go smooth.
Mark's first hurdle. Make it safely through a city of 1.3 million people and its early morning road users.
It won't be long before we see the mammals all out and about. Mammal, that's a middle-aged man in lycra. Have I given him a metre, Matt?
Yeah, if you give him 3 metres, I think.
Always pays to be safe.
He's cleared the city, but overhead, worrying signs.
So in this schedule, there is 0 fat.
If these clouds open up, it could be a disaster on the unsealed roads ahead.
We got rain on dirt roads that we need to go on, and they'll actually go there and shut that road, so we could actually get stuck in Port Augusta. We've just got to pray that it doesn't rain. Yeah, we're on the dirt now, so we've got about an hour of doing about 15 to 20 k's an hour.
The electrical switch room he's carrying is big in every respect. 5.5 metres wide by 16 metres long and worth $1.5 million. But out here, there's always someone bigger.
Now we're going to run into another wide load.
This $3 million mining truck is 6.5 metres wide. Getting past will be a close call.
I'll just pull over here. It's going to be a bit tight here. We might have to wiggle it through. So if you don't hit the building, it'll be rough.
Start to roll, huh?
With one massive obstacle behind him, Mark hits a precious stretch of bitumen. The Stewart Highway is the only sealed road through the middle of Australia, a vital lifeline between north and south, with trucks pounding it 24/7. And hot on Mark's heels, a fuel tanker in a hurry.
So we're going to hold our line. He doesn't want us going all over the road left and right. He wants us nice and straight.
There's only 2.5 metres of road to spare, the exact width of the truck. A few stone chips, but all clear. Mark is now leaving his home state of South Australia. But before he can go any further, he must clear a heavy vehicle checkpoint.
We've got to weigh every axle on this truck, every measurement gets measured up, they've got to sign off the permit, and it all can be turned on its head, you know, just based on someone's interpretation of that permit, the way it's worded. This is the MVR weighbridge. This is our checkpoint.
If Mark's truck's not in order, he could be sidelined for days.
There's no way that you can avoid it because there's only one road that goes through the territory. And these things don't go bush.
Straight away, things aren't looking good. Another switch room from Mark's company is getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, just wondering what's going on.
It's your mate.
Which one?
The one we don't want.
Oh, f***ing sake. Let's go see what happens with this load. See what they can pick on. We even measured it all out based on your state's guidelines and...
So you reckon this complies with our state guidelines?
Yeah. They're trying to tell us it's the wrong trailer for the load. I just said, where's it? Show it in your specifications. They got no answer. We'll win our battle, but it could take friggin' weeks.
It's Mark's worst fear. On an urgent job for a demanding customer, he's now facing a very long delay.
The client's going to be shitty because they're going to say you haven't managed this properly.
Yeah, well, I'll have a look at
After a frustrating wait, the decision.
I won the battle and I won the war.
It's a massive relief. Losing this fight could have cost Mark dearly.
We had to unload the building, so we would have had to go onto the Tanami, delivered that, come back out, then pick this building up. So I could have been there for days while this all eventuated. Meanwhile, the directors at the company would have been having kittens.
But this win has come at a price. Mark's lost half a day out of his schedule.
We've got one more coming over, a white Corolla, and you're clear.
He's now due at the mine site, 400 kilometres away, in just over 2 days. That's possible on the bitumen.
Now the mental torture starts.
But mission impossible on this dirt. It's the infamous Tanami track.
These are just notoriously the worst corrugations in the country. They're not uniformed, they sort of are all off skew and it just shakes the truck left and right and makes everything bounce.
In the switch room, Mark has $1.5 million worth of fragile circuitry he must deliver in working order. He's reduced to a crawl.
I was hoping for around about a 10k average, but at the minute I can't even get above 5 or 6. So now I've realised that we could actually walk there faster. The suspension and the steering linkages and everything is just copping an absolute pounding.
After 5 hours of agonisingly slow progress, Mark's getting worried.
We've sort of gone from our 2-day calculation to being as long as it'll take to now possibly 2.5 to 3 days.
The gold mine waiting for the delivery is shutting down operations to install this switch room as soon as it arrives. Miss that deadline and it'll cost the mine site and Mark dearly.
We cannot miss this delivery date. It's now locked in.
The fight with Corrugations has slowed them to a walking pace.
It's a war. It's a war against the Corrugations. Oh.
But Mark's found a secret weapon.
Yes, we've hit the mother load. I've found like dozens. We've got these old raider blades. We're going to drag them along in front of the trailer wheels.
The grader blades are hung at the front of the trailer. The hope is they'll smooth the road.
Doing what we want. We're going along all right.
A grader and truck all in one. And it's nearly double his average speed, from 8 to 15 kilometres an hour. Mark's deadline is back within reach. But then...
Apparently the road's closed from Uendamu to the Granite because they've had a fair bit of rain overnight.
Gee. Sounds like overnight they've had an absolute massive storm. There might be patches of the road up here that are just going to be impassable for weeks. We don't want to be stuck out here indefinitely. Shut down.
Tanami Road between Uendamu turnoff and Western Australian border flooding.
Flooding.
Road closed, flooding.
Oh dear.
This is our issue.
Oh shit.
That's just been building.
Well, it's just been building up. And look at this coming down here from Broome.
Yeah.
It's on the same path.
Yeah, by the time this bit clears, that bit's in.
Yeah. We're definitely not doing anything in the next couple of days, that's for sure.
I'll check.
Give you the op tip if it's flooding.
This could be the last nail in the coffin for Mark's vital load.
This is we're probably in the worst case scenario we could possibly imagine, really. So if we get up there, at least we'll know where this rain belt's hit. We've then got a timeline.
Mark's made a tough decision. He's leaving his crew behind and launching a solo reconnaissance mission deep into the desert. He needs to see for himself the severity of the floods.
We're just seeing where the worst part is and go back and make a plan. Worst case scenario is a big wet comes through, then we're right up Shit Creek. Road subject to flooding, well, that's exactly what that is. That's the only real major spot so far of water completely across the road. It's getting a little bit boggy there.
Then, a vital clue about the condition of the road ahead. A 4-trailer fuel tanker has made it through.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't be allowed to go unless the road's been open. We know it's open. I'm not going any further. Let's just turn around. We've got a small window because there's more rain coming, so we haven't got any time to sit around and wait. Now we're going to hurry up and get back and get cracking. There's a few boggy patches for a long way up, but by the time we get there, if there's no more rain, that should dry up.
Back to the grind of a very dry, rock-hard road.
Bouncing along, getting kicked, getting bumped. Yeah, now the mental torture starts. And I know we're 2.5 days away. You can't go any faster than 5.6.
It's frustration in motion. To make his delivery deadline, Mark needs to go faster. But do that, and he'll smash the switch room.
This is absolutely horrendous. You can't just let the building go bang, 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 because by the time it gets there, nothing will work.
A day. And night pass at a snail's pace. By the following afternoon, Mark's losing hope.
There is zero fat in our schedule. In fact, we are behind schedule, and we're never going to get it back.
Just one option remains to make up time.
You can see where the trucks are been driving right up on the shoulder of the road, just trying to get as far up and out of the corrugation as possible.
Driving on the soft shoulder may be faster, but it's a path fraught with danger.
Yeah, well, you got to be very careful when you run on the side of the road in this soft stuff, because it might feel sort of firm in one bit and the next minute it'll just grab hold of the steer and rip you off into it. And by the time you try and catch it, you're in too deep and you'll just get bogged.
The risk seems to be paying off.
At least there's no real corrugation up here, and so we're getting an extremely smooth ride and double the speed. Oh no. We're in a world of trouble. They got bugged. That's exactly what I was talking about. Rookie mistake there. The whole lot's bogged. It's plugged. 6 o'clock at night, just daydreaming. And the minute I felt it, it was too late.
Mark was trying to save time by driving along the soft shoulder of the road. Now it's costing more.
The time I was trying to gain, I would have now added to it, so.
Getting 50 tonnes of freight out of this bog will take a lot of grunt. Hopefully one stiff bar. And 600 more horsepower is enough.
Give me a little reverse.
Yep.
A short rollback to firm up the dirt.
Right, hold it there.
Now, the moment of truth.
Righto, Mark.
Yeah, mate, all coming on.
Looks like it's the bumpy ride home from here. So that's a lesson to learn.
Another hour wasted. But Mark knows he got off lightly.
If you really plug into those things and then you break through that top surface, then you can just be in a world of pain. There is no way any truck would be able to pull this thing out. It'd have to be dug out somehow. And probably a crane to unload the building.
The switch room is now one whole day behind schedule. Early next morning, the exhausted team are trying to find a way to improve the road and claw back time. They hope dragging these tyres underneath Mark's truck will smooth the way.
Because we're miles behind now. We're meant to be there this morning, but we're probably going to be there tonight.
On this job, running late means big money. Out of phone range, Mark rushes ahead to call his customers. They've planned an expensive mine site shutdown to install the switch room later today. Only problem, it won't be there.
I've got to get phone service up the road to let them know what the hell's going on.
While Mark delivers the bad news, offsider Matt braves the corrugations in the truck.
We're not going to get there today to do the jack and pack, so he's going to have to cancel the shutdown, and hopefully they'll be able to organise it for tomorrow.
But this road isn't getting any better. For the entire morning, they've barely averaged a walking pace. The truck and trailer are taking a hammering. Then suddenly...
Stop! Holy shit, we're doing a leg out, mate.
The old trailer hasn't liked the dirt too much, and we've dropped a leg clean out the back of it.
A steering leg has been ripped clean off. For Mark's offsider, Matt, it's a waking nightmare.
Just Todd saying stop, and that was it.
All around, it's a trail of destruction. Fittings and hoses lie scattered.
Air lines are cut. Brakes jammed on.
Just tape them so that the zip ties will zip tight close the airlines.
Not good at all. We have a vehicle coming in the distance. Here's to hoping it's our boss. Prognosis is extremely bad.
Yeah.
Extremely bad.
It's a bit like if you're in a motorbike accident and then you look and one part of your body's over there and you're over there. It's pretty much it. Not good.
While Mark's lost 4 tyres and a giant piece of undercarriage, his trailer should still be drivable.
Skull drag that over there, and that will then be the topic of Tanami conversation.
The immediate job is to clear the road. It might not be pretty, but it's effective. Airlines repaired and brakes unlocked, Mark's battered convoy can crawl on. More weight is now bearing down on his remaining wheels. Mark will have to be extra careful. A tall order on the Tanami in the wake of a storm.
We've got up to our first real bog hole.
This 3-ton car makes it look easy. Mark's 100-ton rig could have a harder time.
And brake traction, I haven't got in it. It's so greasy here, so it's just slipping. So we just need to put a shitload of weight to break through into the dry stuff.
His only hope is to shift the 50-ton load forward, using the trailer's hydraulics and putting more weight on the truck's drive tyres.
And that isn't happening either. Put more on. Lots more on.
Maximum weight. It's now or never.
That's better.
He's backed out. But this 50-ton building still needs to plough through.
A bit nervous on the entrance because she just was a bit greasy.
After a disastrous few hours, the switch room can roll on.
So after 260 kilometres, we're down to the last 10 kilometres of the trip.
But the Tanami isn't done with Mark yet.
Unfortunately, it's the worst 10 kilometres of the whole trip. She's going to give it final battle. It does not want this building to get there.
At last, a sight for sore eyes. The gold mine is only a few hundred metres away. Just past this quagmire.
Right before the turn-off, there's a great big bog hole. If we get bogged here, this is going to be embarrassing. Oh, don't you dare.
After 6 days of trucking torture, he's made it.
We are here. This is a joyous moment in every Tanami truck driver's life when they can flick the left indicator. That means the end. Just relief, because it's been quite a long, mentally taxing trip.
But now, Mark can take a load off.
Yibbida yibbida, that's all folks.